answer my
I was
class.
like, yo.
Alright, so you guys are gonna take a couple more minutes to work, finish graphing. I'm gonna put it up on the board.
I don't know. I think that's what you do.
When you're done, I do want you to try number 5. Swaggy, you say.
Okay. I'm gonna just leave it like that.
Okay? I do want you to try it. So think about it with the other symbols, okay? If it's gonna get an open circle or a closed circle.
What are you doing?
Listen.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what right? We better not.
Oh, do you know me?
Yeah. Party foul.
You're definitely getting homework. But there's a... If we go through this, we don't have time, there's a possibility we might get to start it in class.
Dang. Do you like artwork, Swaggy?
Well, that's a lot of work. You know, you can just put, like, one number, right? Save some time and energy. Yeah, as if you're done, you can put 1 up on the board.
Oh, I can go first.
I thought
Here's
second.
Right.
This thing's not 100.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that... Like, I'm going to throw this one out. This one doesn't seem to be working too well. Just pick a different color. Try this last one. You got 13. What kind of circle do you think goes above it?
Oh, a striped one?
That's creative.
Checkered.
You want to go and put number 4? That'd be great.
Why is it right?
I don't know. I'm just going to put the last one before we were and I would like to discuss them.
Oh, all mine are wrong.
And that's exactly why we have a warm-up, so you can ease back into mathematical thinking. Oh, goodness. All the way to negative infinity. All right. So take a look up at the first 4. Do you agree with them? Do you not?
I approve.
I don't think the first
There's a common error between 1 through 3, actually.
Oh, I know. We put it on 0. We didn't put it on our one.
Right. So I'm going to actually ask the 3 of you to go back up to the board and put your circles on the numbers that are given in your statement.
It's smooth. That's why you don't copy people's work. I was the first one to go.
What?
I was the first one to go.
Yeah.
I did that on my paper, too.
Alright, and then Swaggy P, you're the last one.
Yeah, so you going here next year?
Probably. I think so. Stand tall, okay.
Yeah, it's so hurt.
Why?
Stay on topic, yes.
Alright. So now I'm beginning to agree with these. So after Pierce says his, I want you guys to take a look at number 5. So Pierce, I want you to take a look at your number line, and then I want you to take a look at the number line that's above the whiteboard.
Don't know what I need this time.
Look at the order of the numbers.
I'm confuzzled.
So here is 0, right? So you started with -4.
Oh.
-4. Okay, your numbers are going in an incorrect order. They're going in the positive order, but on the negative side. So you need to fix that.
Welcome back.
So try one more time. So we have x is less than negative 3.
We good now?
You good now? I appreciate that. I know it takes some time transitioning back to school. Alright, you can pick up that mic after that drop. Thank you very much. Alright.
Your camera's not rolling anymore.
It is. It's just, the screen's just idle. It's fine. Alright. Good. So I agree with all of those. Any of you guys have any problems with the first 4?
Mine went wrong ways, I think.
For number 2?
No, the other one.
No, it's
Other
going-
number
it's
1
going
and
the
3?
right way.
Yeah.
So again, if x has to be less than negative 3, because
Oh,
this
then
is
I have to
simple for
switch
less
it.
than, so all of these numbers are less than. Okay?
Okay.
Same thing with number 3. This is less than. You have the right one for greater than, but if these are going 2 different ways, their lines can't be going the same way. Alright, so I want to talk to you guys about this symbol, not equal to. Okay, so it says 13 is not equal to x. You could also switch it around and say that x is not equal to 13. For these two, number 2 and 3, do you see how they have the or equal to line underneath? What kind of circles do they have? Closed, okay? Because they can be equal to those number values that are in the statements, okay? So what I want you to do, I'm going to pair Pierce Squared up and Tyson and Yaz, and I want you guys to discuss for a moment, about 1 minute, I want each person to talk about what kind of circle you think number 5 should get based on the fact that it can't be equal to 13, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. And I honestly think you only need like 30 seconds, but I'm going to set it for a minute. Okay?
Someone should name a restaurant the Yasmin.
Alright, Tyson, you can focus, please.
Oh, mine are
So you have 1 minute.
Oh, no. Oh, mine are wrong. Wait, what is it?
I think I put on the wrong one.
That's what we're going with.
Aren't we all?
Well, I thought we were used to
Mine are right.
have Mondays
Yeah.
off
This
slash
one
starting
probably
later.
be open.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, and I
leaving
went to
front
some
later
schools.
than
Pay
there.
attention.
Drop on your
Oh,
Yeah.
I made it end a time.
This one should probably be open. It can't be.
Pierce Squared, did
I
both of
feel
you guys
that, yes.
discuss?
Yasmin.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
Yas.
we discussed.
Yaz and Tyson, did both of you guys discuss?
Yeah.
Great. I thought that'd only take about 30 seconds. Okay. Alright, so Pierce Squared, what kind of circle did you guys say? You don't have to agree.
We got a nice little round circle with a nice little straight dash in it.
So can
No,
you come on up and
diagonal.
show me actually what you mean by that?
I got it.
You got it.
It gives like
How is this cursive, Swaggy?
Like that. Ooh. I love that. You know what that kind of reminds me of?
No.
The worst curse word in math and in algebra.
Undefined.
Undefined.
It reminds me of the X Out videos,
I never saw those.
the Acme videos.
Alright, Yaz and Tyson, what kind of circle did you think number 5
Just
gets?
like an open circle.
Just an open circle?
Oh, no. I thought differently.
What did you think?
Can I go up and illustrate?
Sure. Well, let me preface this with, you're going to be serious right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a random guess. But I feel like it could be accurate.
Alright, you can take a seat. I can already tell you I'm serious about this. That's why I asked. Alright. So we have a circle with a dash through it, which does kind of remind me of undefined. And then we have an open circle. So with inequalities, we do stick to the open, closed circle. So for that reason, yeah, you are correct. It is an open circle, okay? Because when we have that or equal to line, we have closed circles. And this is not equal to. So at our number of 13, which would be somewhere over here, we would have a completely open circle. Now, what I want you guys to think of is which values on our number line that would make this statement true?
It wouldn't have an arrow. So it's not equal to anything.
Well, it's not equal to 13. Does that mean x could be 12?
Oh, then it goes that way.
Okay, so it goes this way to all the lesser numbers. Could x be 14 now?
No.
It
Wait,
can't?
yeah.
Because what's the only number it tells us? That
Anything
x can't be?
below.
13. So it can be anything below and it can be anything above. Okay? So in this case, when we have a not equal to symbol, we have a line that's going to go in both directions. Alright. Good. I'm making you think, and it's just the warm-up, you guys. Alright? So now we're going to move on to, we did our greeting, we did our warm-up, our activator for the day. And I'm actually going to need you guys to take out your notebooks, and you're going to open to page 3 of your current unit. The title of the page should be Solving Word Problems. And I know these are just like your favorite, so nothing like diving into word problems on the first day back after break, am I right?
No. Solving word problem.
So once you, Tyson, I still need you to take your notebook, okay? I'm going to pass out dry erase boards and markers. So I'm going to have you guys look at that graphic organizer that we made for all 4 basic operations.
Oh shoot, I left out my house.
Alright, you can use mine then.
Not appropriate.
Page 3 of your file.
Thank you.
Oops.
This is such a nice notebook. Like mine's absolutely dog. Right here?
Yep. Alright, so you're going to look at that 4-square graphic organizer, and I just want you to re-familiarize yourself with the words that kind of match up with those operation words. I will tell you, I was observing in a public school over break.
Fun.
It was actually really interesting.
Wow.
Why'd you do that?
It's just like the public schools, they didn't, at this particular public school, they didn't have structured note systems like how we have our notebook. Like the students had nothing to refer back to unless they themselves wanted to take notes. It was like up to them.
All public schools are like that.
My public school wasn't. I mean, I still have all my math notebooks from when I was in high school. It was just very different. And the rooms were like very bare. Like there weren't any word walls. Like it was just like very bare. It was very interesting. And I was like really expecting to be blown away and impressed. And actually was thinking about you guys and how much actually I thought you guys did do and how much you did participate in class in comparison to some of the classes that I observed.
Well, how did we participate a lot more?
The class had, I think, about 16 students in it, so it was still smaller than normal, but it was an ESL like math class, and so it was just like, it was really interesting. I would think that they used some of the same strategies that we kind of use, but
So you think about leaving Tyson and Pearson then?
no. I just had to do it as like a grad school assignment.
I'm not going here next year.
So
I'm gone.
Alright. Tyson, did you review these words?
Pearson's gone.
Because it looks like you're just doodling instead. Alright? Alright. So I'm going to give you another minute to do that.
Yeah, Pearson line.
These words?
Yep.
Oh, I know all those.
So what we're going to be working on today as a part of meeting our objective is to translate math sentences, so where there is words and numbers, into an algebraic expression or an algebraic inequality. Yeah.
Of is equal to.
I'm so glad you're ready and willing to start us off, okay? So I'm going to give you a statement, and I'm going to do the first one as an example, but you guys are going to be writing the algebraic expression or inequality down on your board.
No, is. Is
And-
equal to.
And as we kind of do more statements, I'm going to call on you guys one at a time to kind of give me the final answer. All right? So this is what it might look like. So I have 6. You guys can't see this. 6 less than a number x. All right. So So I see I have two values technically. I have 6 and I have an unknown value of x. And I see the word less, which in my mind reminds me, okay, I'm going to be subtracting. So I'm going to put a subtraction sign. On some of these, you will see words that come after the operation words that might make you think it's an inequality. So I'm looking at the word than. So less than is an actual inequality symbol. However, this is not an inequality statement. We're going to talk about the difference between what makes something an expression and what makes something an inequality statement. All right? Again, we've already worked with a lot of these statements. I just want to reprocess to refresh your memory. So I'm going to start with, actually, it says 6 less than a number x. So x is technically my starting value. So I'm going to write x first. And less than, again, I'm thinking of subtraction, so I'm going to put in a subtraction sign, and then my number 6. So do you see how I took the words and I made an algebraic expression out of it? Right? This is the part that you guys are going to do on your whiteboard. So now let's do one together. Everyone comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fun question.
Yeah.
Why can't you put the 6 first?
Because it says 6 less than. That than, even though it's not an inequality, it's telling us that we have this one value, and it's less than whatever that value is, and it's 6 less. So if I did 6 minus x, this is saying that this is how many I have, and I'm taking away whatever unknown amount I have. But it's 6 less than, right? That's a good question. So this would be incorrect. All right, next up. Twice a number.
Yo, Swaggy,
Mm-hmm.
check your iPad.
Oh,
Come on, big dog.
all right. Twice a number y increased.
Swaggy, finally,
Well, it's like, I see it.
lock in.
Increased by 35. All right. So technically there are 3 values here. This first one was a 1-step expression. This one is going to be a 2-step expression. Okay. So identify what your values are.
Should we be writing all this down?
Nope, you're just going to be writing the algebraic expression. So for example, you're going to write this part for the word part. So now you're going to be reading this one, and you're going to be writing the algebraic expression for it.
Oh, so we only
So-
have to write numbers?
Right, you only have to do the bottom part. So what is twice the number y increased by 35?
Oh!
Write it first. So I'm not
Do you
going
have
on
to
any
solve?
one person yet. You can't actually solve this. Not yet.
Well,
There's no equal sign.
technically you could,
How would
but technically you can't.
Interesting.
Nothing's
I would love
impossible.
to engage more on that, but for the sake of time and for the sake of staying on topic, maybe we'll come back to that tomorrow. So we're going to pick up with some that we do today. All right. So once you have something written down, just raise your board to me. Yes, yes. Good. Yeah, okay. So everyone gave 2y plus 35. Let me ask you this. Why would it not be appropriate to write y times 2 plus 35? Like that.
Because it's not right.
But why?
And plus,
It's the same thing.
in the sentence it says twice a number y increased by 35, so the 2 technically has to be in front of the y.
The 2 has to be in front of the y. And the reason is, do you guys remember the word coefficient? Right? That was like a, what is that movie where he gets like blue, whatever that movie is, Night of the Roxbury, whatever, he like
Planet
flips his
51.
head around. I haven't even seen that movie, I just know the look.
You're tripping.
I am tripping.
That look reminds me of a telenovela.
Alright, so anyway, coming
It's
back
a,
to
like,
it, alright?
I'll
2
show
is
later.
technically going to be our coefficient, and for that reason it needs to be put in front, okay? And that way we don't have to write the parentheses in. 1 gets rid of symbols for us to write, and it shows us that that variable has a coefficient. Alright, so this is the first problem I'm going to write, and I'm going to ask one person. I'm going to start with you, Pierce, okay? You're going to translate it into either an algebraic expression or an inequality. So, here it is. X is at most 50.
Can we turn off the camera?
Oh, Swaggy. I beat Pearson in 101 in basketball.
Yeah, sure. Oh.
So everyone is going to write their interpretation of this, but I'm specifically asking you for the final answer, okay?
Okay.
So if you still want to raise your board to show me. Here says 10. Yes.
Oh, wrong number.
Hold on.
You're close. You're missing one thing.
Right there.
You're super close.
Oh, I'm there. I got it.
You're missing one thing.
Oh no.
Less than or equal to.
This thing here?
Yes. But that's the thing though, Tyson. You gave me a different statement.
I'll write exactly what I just wrote.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Pierce has said, you gave me the same thing as Pierce. You said X and 50 with this symbol in between. What symbol is this?
Equal to or less than.
No.
Alright, the equal to or.
Greater than or less than.
Not greater than or less than. It's greater than or equal to. But it says at most 50. So 50 is the highest number it can be. Can it be any higher? No, it can't.
That?
Okay. So yes, exactly. This top symbol needs to be flipped. So X has to be less than or equal to 50. Alright? Any number smaller than 50. It can be equal to 50 though? Yes? No?
Maybe yes.
Yes, it can. Alright, Pierce with an I, you're up next. We're good. X is greater than 3. Good times. Good Pierce.
Swaggy, what would you do if I just took your notebook and popped it out the window? Well,
Send you to Mr. Gray's office.
would you
Good.
report me to the police?
Not to the police, but to Mr. Craig, yes. Alright, so X is greater than 3. That one's pretty straightforward. What do you notice? Both of these are inequality statements. What do you notice they both have in common?
They both have is in them.
Ah, they both have is. Alright.
They're both.
So now going forward, let's take a look at this. So yeah, this is where I'm going to ask you, alright, how to translate the sentence. So we have 15 greater than y. 15 greater than y. So pay attention to the wording. Interesting. Is this an inequality?
No.
No.
Yes.
So we have up top 6 less than a number. We have the word less than,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not an inequality. So is this one an inequality? 15 greater than y. Interesting. So Yaz and Pierce
That or.
have given me 15 plus y.
Nah, dog.
What do you got? You have 15 is greater than y. 15 greater than y. Okay. Tyson, what do you have? You don't know? Alright, so the last two had the word is in them, right? And they were both inequalities. Does this one have the word is in them? No. Okay. So this one is actually similar to the first one we had. You see how we started with x? Because we have 6 less than whatever x is equal to.
Oh,
Here
wait.
we have 15 is greater than whatever y is equal to. So, actually, are either one of these correct?
No, it's this.
No.
It's the bottom one.
It's y plus 15.
Oh, I had that.
Y plus 15. Y is the starting amount, and we have 15 more than that starting amount. Okay? Alright. To kind of make my point even further, what if I have this statement? 15 is greater than y. the difference between 15 is greater than y and 15 greater than y?
The one with the is the inequality.
Correct, yes. All right, because it's actually telling us that this value is in total a larger or lesser amount than whatever other amount we're comparing it to. So in this case, it's the variable y, okay? So for this one, we would have not 15. You could actually write both of these. Y is less than 15. Yeah, or 15 is greater than y. These are both the same thing, okay? All right.
You know there is a kid touring from South Carolina next week.
I did see that in the announcements, yes. Okay. Next up.
Why do they make such a big deal out of it?
Because they want us to be welcoming. It's hard coming into a new school. All right. To keep us moving on, we're going to do some practice, some further work, with the worksheet you guys actually started before break. And I collected these because I wanted to return back to them. So we're going to kind of work with still translating math sentences into inequalities, but we're also going to be integrating our knowledge of compound inequalities. Again, we talked about having and or statements, okay? Where we have two numbers that are a part of an inequality. So I'm going to hand these back. And you'll notice that mainly the front part is done, except for number 6 on the bottom, and then there's 3 problems on the back, okay? So the 3 problems on the back are going to be your homework for tonight. We are going to do number 6 on the front page at the very bottom together right now.
Where's the back homework?
The back is the homework. So here's the homework. Number 7, 8, and 9 on the back, and number 6 on the front is what we're going to be working on right now.
Splendid.
So I'm going to have you guys cap all your markers, and I'm going to collect all them.
You're capping.
Alright. Now, can I have someone read the directions above number 6?
No.
No.
You just want to go for it?
For the following inequalities, be aware that the answer might be a range of numbers and you might need two inequalities. Answer will be like 12 greater than x.
Less than.
Oh, less than
Mm-hmm.
22.
Okay. Or you can have 2 separate inequalities, right? So both of these could be appropriate formats for your answer. So we're going to do both with number 6. All right. Can I have a new person read the actual situation? Thanks, Tyson.
Monopoly is a game for 2 or more players, and there's only 8 game pieces in the box. How many people can play 8?
All right. So, what's the minimum amount of people that I need to play
2.
Monopoly? 2, okay? So I'm going to put M for Monopoly right here in the middle, and I'm going to put 2 here because this number is smaller than what other number do we have in this problem? 8, okay? So the bigger number always goes on the right, smaller number always goes on the left, okay? So when we're talking about Monopoly, can I have equal to 2 players?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I can play Monopoly with 2 players. It's maybe not as fun. Okay. Can I play with less than 2 players?
No.
No. So M has to be greater than 2.
If you're really lonely, I bet you could.
Yeah, if you have split personalities, maybe. You know, that could be kind of interesting. All right. And it also says there's 8 game pieces. So what's the maximum amount of people
8.
play with? 8. So we can be equal to 8?
Mm-hmm.
Can we have more than 8?
No.
No. So what's the symbol we're going to put right there? M
The one with the line going across it. Equal to.
not equal to, because again we said that M could equal 8. That has to be less than or equal to 8. Right? So you could write it as 1 inequality, or if you're like, I'm not quite there yet. Again, this part you can bring right down. Because typically we write it with our variable first, our inequality symbol, and then our number. So I could write it as this. M is less than or equal to 8, and M is greater than or equal to 2. this an and or an or statement? Can both be true at the same time?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is an and statement. Again, another way to recall, and you guys have notes on this, is if you have lines that are crossing over each other in your inequality graphs, this is an and statement. If you have lines that are going in opposite directions, that's going to be an or statement because only one can be true at a time. All right? So your homework on the back is similar to this. You do not have to graph this. If you want to, because you think it might help you, by all means, go for it. Okay? But you're doing number 7, 8, and 9 on the back for homework. However, before I give you time to work on that, which you guys are making excellent time, we're going to do our closing. Okay? So I'm going to hand out an index card to each of you. And I want you...
Be Hall. Does Heath put Hall a private school?
Yeah.
Hey Tyson, can you refocus? I'm almost done. You're doing a great job.
Oh.
That was slick. Alright, on your index card, let me get rid of this. You're going to create your own math sentence, alright? And I want it to have 2 operations in it.
Let's start with the letter C.
2 numbers. So I'll start with this. 2 numbers. 2 operations.
So like multiply and divide.
Yep. So kind of similar to where I said twice the number y increased by 35. Okay? So you have multiplication and you have addition.
Are we going to have to solve these?
Not today, and you won't be solving your own. We're actually going to use these index cards tomorrow, and you're going to swap with someone else and have them write the algebra expression or inequality. So again, it could be an expression or it could be an inequality. So I'll leave this up as a helpful thing. These are the 2, actually the 3 requirements though.
What are we doing?
You're creating your own math sentence, right? That tomorrow someone will write a algebraic expression or inequality to. So you're writing your own. And you can use the words from your graphic organizer
There
to
you
write
go.
it. Okay.
You
Can
can
you just
drive a
write your
car.
name on the back?
You can drive a car with 2 or more hands. Is that good? Yeah, that's good.
Where do we put
So
our
that's
name
a
on the back?
1 step. That's an inequality.
But no more than 5.
So you're trying to create a statement that doesn't have any operations in it. So you need 2 operations in it. You have a statement. It's like I could write an inequality statement here, but there's no operation, so it's just a number. You have a variable and a less than or equal to 2 hands. So I need some operations thrown in
Do we
there.
need to put our name on the back?
Yeah.
No more than 5. That's good.
So you need some operation words. You need some of these words.
5 divided by 2.
Does that make sense though?
More plus more.
Did I collect yours first?
You know I do have those 5 points.
Wait, is a product an
on
answer?
the, or
I was actually going to ask you because that's why I kept this.
was it 5 or 3 points?
It was 3.
Alright, mine's good. Have a nice weekend, Swaggy.
Oh, whoa, let me see.
Ah, there you go.
You have trigonometry more hands, but no more than 5. 5. Done decreased from 2.
Yep.
What does that mean?
God. So organized.
So you have a 1 operation word. And it's decrease. Okay? And so when you say you have more than 5 driving a car, it's a situation. You're driving a car and you're missing an operation word. Okay? So I want you to try again.
Wait, can you check mine just to make sure it's like...
When you're driving a car, you can't decrease 2 hands.
So you actually have both of these
Yeah, I was
words
wondering
mean the
that.
same thing.
Oh.
So I would keep 4 times
When did
a...
you write?
For
Oh,
mine?
can I just say a number?
What
Yeah.
am I telling you? 4 times a number. Miss Gossy, so Since we don't have enough players for
In the room, yeah.
so then the symbol would be like that. Like the corner would be to the.
Oh wait, I
P.
need a variable. So this would be.
So this is technically your variable.
Oh, okay.
They could give it whatever variable they wanted
So
to.
technically it'd be like that.
So P is less than 4, yes.
There was at least 3 people in the crowd, but no more than 10. Does that work?
So yours would be a compound inequality, which actually is an interesting idea. It doesn't have, you're still missing the 2 operations though. You're,
At least that's an operation.
at least is an inequality symbol.
Oh my god.
Okay. So let me give you one of the other students what they did. They had twice the number H decreased by 40.
Oh, I get that.
Okay.
Alright.
So you're doing
Twice
something like we practiced beforehand.
a letter T multiplied by 90. Good. There you go.
Yes.
Have a nice weekend.
Alright. If you guys would also take a moment to look at what you have for homework. Okay, so you have those three problems for translating inequalities due tomorrow. And I really want you guys to bring in computers tomorrow. If you don't have a computer, that's okay. We have Chromebooks,
What do we
but
do
it would be
with
much easier. Warm-up booklet.
I don't have a computer.
Okay, so we have Chromebooks here, and I'll try to get them
I don't
before
have
you
to
come in.
do that.
Okay, I'll try to get 2 Chromebooks. Okay. Because I'm gonna set you guys up with something online, right? That we're gonna be using quite often. Any questions on homework? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right, you guys, you did a great job for first.